Hey guys, so last night I went and saw the movie The Duff. This is one of those weeks where there was nothing out that interested me at all. I know, like, we had Insurgent come out. I never saw Divergent, so I had no interest in seeing it. I honestly, even if I probably was, it's one of those like it looks too much like the Hunger Games to me. Never really caught my interest. Nothing doesn't look like really anything that interested me at all. It's one of those movies that's like, well, I'm going to catch up on something that's been getting good reviews I haven't seen yet. And my choices were The Duff or SpongeBob. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going to see The Duff now. And they're both movies that I really wasn't looking forward to, but I'd rather watch The Duff than watch SpongeBob. The Duff is one of those movies that I said about a couple months ago when I saw a trailer for this. I was just annoyed by it because I was like, great, this is going to be an actual term now. This is like, it looked like too much that it was, the movie to me, it looked like it was every fucking teen comedy I've ever seen. It looked like it was trying to be Mean Girls and Juno at the same time. It just didn't interest me in the slightest. And of course, like I said, the fucking name just annoyed the piss out of me for a long time. I don't really know why, it just did. But I've been hearing some decent things about it since it came out. So I was like, alright, I guess I'll go check that out. I mean, there's worse to probably see this that's out right now. And you know what? It's a movie that I don't recommend seeing in the theater, but I actually recommend renting it, because it's not a bad film. It isn't. It's not a bad film at all. It definitely, there's things about it I hated. I'll say that. I'll get to that in a minute. But there were things about it I liked enough that I kind of recommend it. It's definitely not the best, one of the best films of the year so far. Definitely not. It's average. It's an average teenage comedy or teen comedy, or what do you want to call it. The main girl, I thought was at points was pretty good in this movie. She brought a lot of heart and a lot of had some pretty good acting in some scenes, especially like later on in the movie. Her acting was pretty solid. She was likable for the most part. She is playing fucking Juno, like, you know, a tamed down version of Juno, honestly. And I guess the best way to put it is like, if you combine Juno with the girl from She's All That, that's what you kind of get. I'm not. She's a hipster who is the ugly duckling. Literally, she's wearing coveralls like the girl in the She's All That. So I mean, and she becomes the ugly duckling and becomes the pretty girl. Blah blah blah. You've seen it a million fucking times. She was alright. She was pretty good in this movie. I'll give her a lot of credit. I also, I didn't know that Allison Janney was in this movie, and when she popped up, I'm like, hey, Allison Janney! Playing every fucking role she's ever played, being the crazy cuckoo mother that she's always playing, but she's great at it. I love Allison Janney. She's one of my favorite comedic actresses, like one of the most underrated. It's one of those people I kind of wish would get like her own lead movie. She's very funny because she, like, a lot of times she steals a lot of damn movies she's in. And she's playing like a motivational speaker that is the main girl's mom, and her motivational speaking on how to handle divorce or something like that. And she's not the greatest of moms and stuff like that, or this movie does where this movie where I have problems like with this movie is that, honestly, for the first there are a lot of bad performances, annoying performances, particularly one that was driving me nuts, Ken Jeong. Oh my god, I Dr. Ken, or what do you want to call it. He's only been in one good role, and that's it. And that was Knocked Up. His first role where he was playing a doctor. He was actually decent at it. And then he did The Hangover. And now he's playing the same fucking character over and over and over again. The loud Chinese man that is fucking annoying and really obnoxious and is not funny at all. He's playing it in this movie, and his scenes were torture for me. He was fucking terrible. He was fucking terrible. Luckily, he is in less and less of the movie as the movie goes on, so that helped. But every time he would pop up, I'm like, fuck off, get off my screen. Some of the teenage characters I couldn't stand either, but they weren't terrible actors, but they weren't very good either. Also, god damn it, like, this is every teenage comedy, like I said, every fucking, it's She's All That, Juno, Mean Girls, and what was the other one I said it was? I don't know. All combined together. And if you took and put like story elements from all those movies and put them in one movie, this is what you get. And it's predictable as shit. You could see it coming, like stuff coming a mile away. It's not. It also, the thing that annoyed to piss out me the most was the fucking references to modern culture, like making stuff viral. Or that scene, that fucking horrible scene where she breaks up with her friends. And she's like, I'm unfriending you. Well, she's like, well, I'm unfollowing you on Twitter. That's literally, like, they're arguing is like, oh, I'm going to unfriend you. Well, then I'm going to unfollow you, and then I'm not going to follow you on Instagram. I'm like, fucking, this is not funny. This is annoying. This is, like, why this kind of comedy doesn't work right now, because they have to make fucking references to, like, social media, and it's annoying. It's not funny. God, it was terrible. There's a lot of it, just... It was fucking annoying. Some of the dialogue in this movie was fucking terrible. At the beginning of this movie, it was unbearable. To the point, I was like, this movie sucks. But luckily, it got better as the movie went along. It had a nice little story to it. Like, it had a heart to it. I actually kind of started giving a shit about characters, especially the main girl in this movie. She was alright. I mean, like I said, she was pretty good. Also, am I the only one, like, when she has her hair tied back and shit like that, am I the only one that thinks she looks like a young Noomi Rapace? Seriously, like, go back and watch, like, some of this, like, when she has her hair tied back at the end of the movie, I'm like, she kind of looks like Noomi Rapace. That's not a bad thing, because she's, Noomi Rapace is a gorgeous woman, but I'm like, it was kind of really striking, like, how much she looked like her. I've never seen this girl in a movie, anything before. Apparently she was the daughter in Independence Day. The daughter of the president in Independence Day. That's a fun fact for you. I found that out on Wikipedia. That was kind of funny when I found that out. I mean, well, she's like done a lot of voice acting too, but this is like her big role. One of her first big roles. Lead roles, I mean. And she also did that Perks of Being a Wallflower. I've never seen that. I heard that was good, but I never watched it. Again, it's one of those movies that I can also probably just say it's not my thing, but at the same time, I've seen good teen comedies. Mean Girls is a great movie. Juno, it's a movie that hasn't aged well, especially the fucking dialogue. I like Ellen Page, but J.K. Simmons was really funny in that. But that's another story. There are another thoughts for another time. But anyways, yeah, I've seen better, and it copies a lot of different fucking comedy, like teen comedies that you've already seen before. It's nothing new. Again, I'm sure there'll be some asshole that'll tell me, well, just because it doesn't do anything new doesn't mean it's the same story. That's what somebody told me on fucking Cinderella. It makes no fucking sense, but whatever. And I said, name one fucking thing Cinderella did differently than the fucking than any other story, or any other movie. They didn't answer me, of course. Fucking idiot. But yeah, sorry about that rant. As far as previews, I got all the same previews I've gotten. Like, I got fucking Paul Blart, yay. A bunch of comedies I've already gotten trailers for before. But I did get, before the trailer started, a behind-the-scenes featurette on the making of Furious 7. I actually recommend watching that. Honestly, that was better than the actual fucking movie I saw, the Duff. It was really good. It was really, really kind of emotional, too. Towards the end, of course, they start talking about Paul Walker and how this is a nice tribute to him. You know, they pay tribute to this guy, and it's kind of sad. You know, I hope this is the last movie. I said once Paul Walker died, it's like this has to be the last movie. I'm sure they'll probably try to make it eighth one anyways. But anyways, weirdly enough, no mention in the behind the scenes featurette of like three things: Jason Statham being in this movie and being the villain, Kurt Russell being in this movie, and also it being directed by James Wan, which is a big deal because he made The Conjuring, he's made Saw, and this is like a different area of film for him. But you know, I don't know. I thought that was weird that they had no mention of that at all. But yeah, it's a really good featurette. If you get a chance to see it, check it out. It's really good. I'm looking forward to Furious 7. It's like this and Avengers cannot fucking come soon enough. I'm fucking like this year hasn't been very good so far, and I'm hoping it starts to pick up starting next month or by May with Avengers and Furious 7. But anyways, I'm gonna get off here. I'll be back this week with Get Hard, the single worst title I think I've ever fucking heard, and this is one of those movies that I have to fucking see because it's getting a really violent reaction from critics. I'll get into more of that when I get into the review for it. But until then, I'll talk to you guys later.